You okay, guys? It's all yours.
Well, it is a big deal to me.
Ain't that time? We're gonna be talking about the chlorination. We got Charlie here to answer any questions. I need their projected cost.
They're estimated.
Estimated. Some of them we can do ourselves. We gotta figure out which way we wanna go about it, thing. But this is the thing we need to get discussed and get ready to start moving on with this. Oh.
When would this start? I mean, when would you start doing this?
We have to get a permit from DNR. It has to be sent in. That's one of the requests I'd like to make for you to approve tonight, for the mayor to sign the permit to go into DNR when we get spec stuff finished.
We did that.
Okay. I brought down plans and specs with detail on the building that we get a local supplier to give us a price on prefab. So we can pour slab and it can just set right on it. Dennis has still got the equipment from the old treatment plant, but the vat and the metering pumps available. We'll just put it inside, do a few small things and controls and electrical and be set up. Our biggest problem is the water line that we need to run out to Ray Swint and replace the distribution line now with the feed line in on the 4 inches there, and we'll tie the service over into a new 2-inch line for a distribution line going out that way. That needs to be contracted out to the contractors. Part of it has to go up through the road and the asphalt and then off in the shoulder. That's also our biggest cost. This other part we can do, and we can start chlorinating. The 4 users out there would not have chlorination until we can get their line finished and done. But we can't do any of it until we get DNR's approval. We sent in a report back this spring. They rejected it, said no, they wanted everybody in town to be on it. We had put in the report that we just do the chlorination at the standpipe, feed everybody past it, leave those other 4 users on the distribution, or on the main feed line coming in. They said no, everybody in town had to have it done. We revised the report, sent it back into them, showing a 2-inch feed line going out Cemetery Road to serve those 4 users, with a feed line going strictly to the standpipe, and at the base of the standpipe we inject the chlorine into it for disinfection. They approved it about 6 weeks ago. We had the plan stuff done. They will require that they approve them before we do any of the work on it, except we start assembling items that the city might do while the weather's still good and as you have time. Like maybe pour the concrete pad, dig the conduit in for the electrical, the conduit in for the chlorine feed line over the line, cap it. Things that are incidental to it with not having anything done completely to tie it in.
Another question.
Yes, sir.
It's from Creighton. Do we have an easement on all this property? We don't have to get any easements or?
No, we're going up Cemetery Road right now.
We have a written agreement. Did they send you that? Authorizing us to put that water line through there?
They didn't give us anything in writing, but they said, told you that was.
They told me they would, but they said they would send you a letter.
Yeah, I think they did come, but not on the check.
We got an easement through it, but they sent a letter that stating that they give us permission to put our water line down through there.
That's all I want to know.
All that stipulation is that we fix the road back like it was, anything if we disturb.
Just
You
a
know, we
question.
got all that, so that's the only place we're gonna run a line. Rest of it's inside the fence, where the tile is.
Correct.
Except for that line, that's the only thing that's gotta be done outside the water tower.
Those 4 homes that were hooked up before the tower, that was in the original plans?
They've always
That
been
was
on that line.
submitted?
They've always been on that line. That line is left in place. We came down and tied onto it at Ray Swint's, tied onto it down at the base of the hill below the standpipe and ran a new line up. Those 4 users were always on that line
Okay,
since it was extended out.
and you have it marked where you want to put the line, when is that going to be done?
It'll be after DNR gives approval and we take bids on it.
Okay, be the first, or,
I'm guessing it'll be probably late winter, early spring before they're gonna get their approval and we can get bids and get a feedback to work. In the meantime, you could be disinfecting if they give approval and we get the building in. We could do everybody else in town. Those 4 users would not have the chlorine water come back to them until they can get the approval and we get the bids and get the construction done.
so we're talking spring, when is this going to be complete now?
I would guess. Depending how bad the winter is and what we can do to get in there. even though we're on the road and on the shoulder going up through there, it would be nasty in some winters that we get to be able to do anything with it.
And if, let's say St. Genevieve is chlorinating their water, they had some bacteria, or whatever, they're chlorinating it. So we're getting it chlorinated, we're gonna still chlorinate it again, or we have to tone it down, recalibrate what we're doing?
It has to be tested basically on a daily basis until you get it all set up the way you want it to be to make sure the chlorine content in the system out at the ends of the lines is proper. You want to have a minimum of about 0.5 parts per million to keep taste and odor down at your extreme points, but you don't want it to get much over 1 on your average through there either, so there's not any taste and odor on the high side.
Just think, I know what you're trying to say. Maybe I don't misunderstand, but let's say for some reason they had a leak and they fixed it and they chlorinated that. That came into our tire and we're chlorinating. But that should be checked every morning.
It is.
Okay.
It's gotta be checked
Yeah,
every morning.
that's what I thought. That way you know.
DNR is gonna be.
But it's still theoretically possible that it could happen because it could hit us after the morning check. We could get,
That's true.
we could get 20 hours of it before we know we're getting in, unless they notify us they chlorinated the stream.
The only issue with that would be the fact that we've got 205,000 gallons of water sitting in the tank, chlorinated to our level. If we add another 20,000 during the day, if we have to fill up with more chlorine, it probably will not change it very much.
I'm just concerned.
Yeah.
We're trying to chlorinate and get it right, and then if we get a big slug of it, it's gonna be high.
Well, the same thing will happen if they give us a big slug of coal farm in there and the bacteria eats it up,
Yeah.
then we've got the same problem. So it does have to be checked as the flow's coming in to make sure that we're getting the right concentration to feed your secondary system past the stand time.
And you hold a certified engineer's license?
Yes, we do.
You do, or they?
No, my engineer is Joe Heffer.
Okay, because it said that we had to have a certified engineer prepare this,
Yes,
and
and he has.
so it's gonna go in his name,
Yes.
okay.
I have 3 engineers on staff. Joe's the one that typically stamps the final set that goes out.
Okay.
And the estimate that you have is strictly an estimate until we can get final costs and stuff. The biggest cost involved is the line work because of the possibility of some rock in there going up through that road, the asphalt resurfacing. And if we can do any alternative work on that at all to help keep those costs down, once we get the bids, we can negotiate with the contractor and see what we can work out on that to make sure that the costs are limited to the city.
Is the 50,000 what we projected in the rate increase for this?
No.
What do we project?
We thought we'd be around 30 to 40.
I think 40 is what I put in the estimate at 4%, I believe, for
So this is going to make us revisit the water rates.
Not necessarily, and may or may not, you can't predict that. First place, don't try to put something that ain't there, because we don't know this here could be that much. Ain't nothing said it is that much. Don't get excited and don't
Oh, no,
don't
I'm
put
just
your grapevine out before we get the facts.
looking at trying to figure out what we budgeted or what we anticipated the cost when we did the increase and what's projected now. And of course, that'll change when we get bids. And
It could go either way, Steve.
especially if we do some of the work with the city crews we've got projected and the costs come in lower and materials and stuff like
There's a
that.
lot of things that, in here can be changed a little bit, but nothing's gonna make a great big change. It's still gonna be costly. And it may be a little more anticipated, but then again, there's other things can be done to change it. I mean, there's a lot of talking, negotiating, and things to do between now and then. This there is almost top, but it don't mean that something could be higher on this.
Oh, it's got contingency in there for things that we may not have seen so far, or small items that you may need to purchase. But when that's not used, that lowers your cost back down to what it is.
like miscellaneous conduit piping, et cetera, 1,000, and it might come out to be
200,
less.
right.
Yeah.
We have to have a saddle, we have to have a corpse, we
We're
have
not-
to have a pit.
Yeah, they was, we said 100, it should be 1,000, everything above that line should be 1,000.
Yeah, there's two typo errors on the two of the last items. It's extended to
Interior
1,000.
finishing, it should be one complete at 1,000. And the miscellaneous conduit and pipe, and both of them should be 1,000. Instead of saying 100, you only 1,000. I
Okay.
tried it.
Well, I was thinking it was times 10.
I had it on
No,
there.
it's just a typo error on the first line.
For interior finish, yeah, that's supposed to be 1,000.
Now, Charlie suggested that we didn't have a copy of the blueprint of the building. Yeah, we got a couple of copies here.
Oh, I
So
didn't.
here.
That,
I didn't know.
no, this is right here. That I take it, or we, some of us, one of us, take it to a couple of these people that build these portable and see if they can meet these specs and how much they can do it for us. And I know of 2 or 3 that around here does that. JW Building, BBL, and they got another somewhere then. If they don't come back pretty close tonight, we might look at one of the local contractors just to build it on the site and see if they can do it, as long as they meet these certain specifications in here about the panic bar and all that stuff. And whichever way is cheapest, we can save $400 or $500. That's $400 or $500. I mean, that's something that the taxpayer don't have to pay, or the water user. So it's gonna take a while to put all this together. I mean, we could go out and buy a building, but it needs to meet certain specifications because it's gonna be there for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, you can pass the one that's down, have a look at it, see what we're talking about.
Even with the prefab unit, I'm not planning any inside finish work with it. You will have someone local do that once it's set on site. Insulate it, put in the heater, put on the Marlite on it, exhaust fan. It will not take much. They can finish it out in a day for most stuff we need.
Now, is that the cost of that in with this, or?
Yes, it is.
That's your,
Interior finish, $1,000.
with the buildings in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's about $2,500.
Oh, okay, I see that now.
Was it 6 by 8?
6 by
Yeah,
8.
that building shell.
And that can either be inside or outside dimensions. It won't make much difference except for the cost of cutting the sheets to go on the inside. But it's pretty sturdy. We're using 26 gauge metal, all metal roof and sides, steel door with safety glass in it. It'll have a switch on the outside that we'll add in for the exhaust fan and the lights so you can see what's going on. All that's required by DNR to meet safety regulations for a chlorination unit.
and stuff, yeah.
Does this project qualify for any kind of grant?
We wrote a letter to DNR asking for assistance due to the complications of the project, but we've not got a response back from them on that.
Would they be the only option?
For a short term, as this has to be done, yes. The nice thing is there's clear space at the standpipe site for this to set there, good access to get the bleach and stuff in. The plan is to use household bleach at the cheapest cost we can get it, the 5.25% concentration. Meter and pump right in the line. It won't use much per day.
I thought I read somewhere where they were condemning using household bleach.
No.
No, maybe they do,
You don't
no,
want
they do.
scented, you don't want scented household bleach, but you can use bleach. Bleach is bleach.
I know, that's what I knew. I thought I read that one time.
Believe it or not, DNR is also in the middle of a study right now on chlorine to see how it's affecting these dead-end lines and stagnant places in your system because of, I think it's called the trimethylates that build up, and they can end up being a problem.
Yep.
By their own regulations, they have to disinfect. They're also studying to see if it's a problem.
Oh, that's nice.
It means a little flushing.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Anybody got any more questions of Charlie? You got a long way to go.
No, I appreciate him coming.
And what do you want us to get to, we've already passed the, DNR. What was that, we passed?
No, we rolled it last meeting.
Yes.
Signed, so
Yes.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And the plans are nearly complete. If you give approval of that for submittal to DNR tonight, then we will finish the last little dab we need to get done, and we'll get it into DNR and ask them to push this through to give us more time. With the winter coming up, we don't know what kind of construction we're going to have, and if they wait until December or January gives approval, we're not going to be able to get much of anything done.
Right.
And the whole time, we're still getting bad water, and you're still distributing it, and the samples are going to show that you're in violation.
Yep.
In the meantime, if the city can get prices on this building to see which is the best way to go, that will have no effect on the approval to do it. It'll be a matter of how we build it. Or have it built.
So when we start doing this, we're gonna have good water.
You're going to have safe, reliable water that's been disinfected. All the samples that you've been taking here recently all just have coliform in them. They're just showing some kind of bacteria, probably from groundwater, that's causing the problem. It's not been E. coli or anything that's a serious violation. But they don't buy anything. Up until about 10 years ago, you could have 1 or 2 parts per million, you didn't have a violation. Then they went to 0. They said you will not have anything in your water. And that became a problem for you, but it wasn't chlorinated. So everything comes out of your tank that you're dispersing back to your users will have a chlorine concentration in it out through the distribution lines. And it'll be a safe, reliable system.
For this prefab building shell at 2,500, is there some place where we could purchase it and get a government discount, or?
Probably taxes only, but I don't know that.
Like, do it center locally if it's by those specs.
That's what,
Maybe they might even, if we advertised them on it, give us another break. I don't know. I'm just saying, trying to look at ways to.
it's going to be hidden up there, not many people's going to see it, except Mary and Cliff.
It's behind the tower, ain't nobody gonna see it, ain't nobody supposed to be back there.
But I think you'll get a reasonable price on it, because it's not a fantastic building. It's going to finish out what's required by DNR after the shell is here. It just needs to be sturdy enough to get on concrete, get it anchored down, and give you a place to start.
Once the concrete's on there, then it won't blow over or.
Correct. It'll be
Won't
anchored
break
in.
into it or anything.
The only glass will have be safety glass, reinforced glass on the door. They can still pry the door open, beat it up, and do things. But they got to break through the fence, break through the building to find a chlorine vat in there.
Seems like too much trouble to me.
If you're finished with me, sir, I will get out of your hair.
Well, I'm trying to touch it down.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I just noticed on the flush hydrant. It looks different on the other side. I guess the numbers, fonts are smaller. Never mind.
Yeah, we're required to put that at the end of the line, out next to where the existing fire hydrant is, raised fence. It'll give you a little flexibility putting water into a vat, gravity tank for the fire department. That'll be limited in flow that it can give.
Have a good trip.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it.
Have a safe one.
Not a problem.
There you go.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mark.
I will thank you. To the three, I think there's 3 builders around here, prefabbers that JW Building, BBL. Seems like there's somebody else around here.
Is it Friction out there, what's his? What's it, that JW?
That's JW, he did out there, the interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's JW Building. And then BBL down here building, there may be somebody else checked, I don't know. And we'll see what kind of thing they come back with, and then we'll compare with maybe a couple of our local carpenters or something and see if they can meet the criteria or make it cheaper. Build it on the spot, on our foundation and anchor it to it. We gotta save every dollar we can. But it don't seem like no matter what we do, we're gonna keep getting some bad water sooner or later, and chlorinating is not gonna go away. The only thing that really bothers me is someday they're gonna have to chlorinate. And we're gonna be, the county's gonna have to, someday, every water system is almost gonna be chlorinated. Especially when you get storage tanks and then build up and you can't get rid of it like we do. And they can get rid of it, they got a problem the next day or so, but at the end of the line, we got it. So we'll do all this, and if they start chlorinating 2 or 3 years, then we're just gonna be still making paying for this, and we won't need it. That's the only bad thing about it, but it's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. There's nothing down the pipeline that says they're gonna be chlorinating. Matter of fact, they say they don't have bad samples most of the time. They had some ladies recently, 2 or 3 or 4 different times, but when they get one, we got it for 5 weeks, 4 weeks. Almost 5 time we get the whole system cleaned out. We start getting some good readings and 4, it'll take another week.
Till we get it cleaned out, yeah.
And you get another shot of it.
You get another shot.
Their line's clear, maybe the same day when they have a problem up there, but we got it again. We got it for it, there ain't never no question about that. And we need to, because of the fact that when we get it, we got, it stays.
That's right.
But I just hate that we gotta spend this kind of money, and if they have to, then, well, I guess you could always use the building for storage shed, and that line going out there, it'd just be there. That line, see, when we originally started this, when we originally thought we could do it around $30,000, we was counting on not having to do it behind the top. The county, the DNR had took the stand that county don't give us bad water. They never had bad tests. So we took position about the position, then we shouldn't have to chlorinate them 4 houses out there because you're saying it's on us. Well, undoubtedly they don't think that's the problem, so now we gotta chlorinate them 4 houses out there, so you can see the expense here of running that line out there. There's one, just the top item there, $13,000, 900 linear feet of that pipe.
But those 4 residents weren't getting positive samples. It was everything from the water.
Well,
right?
if we catch it at the pit, it would, but sometimes we couldn't even catch it at the pit. We caught it at the towers during come on by. When they came in, yeah, they got it. But they don't have it just like the county out there does. If the county sends us bad water, usually they got it out of their system in a day. They flush it down, they flush it out. But when we get it, it goes in our holding tank of 100,000 gallons. And it stays in there for weeks. But when it goes by them people out there, yeah, they were getting it. But the county stand was that we don't get bad water from the county. Now we prove we do.
The point I was making is that from the sample results I saw, all of them before the water tower, those 4 addresses, whenever they were tested, or the value pit, were always consistently absent.
Right.
And it came, so they never had any problem. It came from after the water tower.
You're not getting it through your head. The water comes from the tower. And when it comes from the county bad, it goes in our tower. Well, they don't send bad water for days and days and days. They have a low, they have a break, they flush it. They try to flush it all out, though. But we're on the end, we get it. Well, as soon as it goes by them, it's just like the county. You go out there to the county 2 days after they have bad water, and they got clear good water. So they'll flush it down.
They're
But
getting
it's not
straight
here.
from them and not from the top.
But they're just like the tire, they got to the tire, then their water's good. So we took the stand that if you're saying the county ain't giving us bad water, we don't need to chlorinate out there. Because you're saying we don't get bad water.
I'm saying.
But they found out we do get bad water, now we gotta go back out there. So our $30,000 project that we started, got this $13,000 here, it's got added here. Now, if we was truly not getting bad water from the county occasionally, why would they make us chlorinate out there? So you can answer me that. Why would they make you chlorinate 4 homes that they say don't get bad water? Because their water never goes through our tile. It never touches our tile.
I thought that was the original plan, is everybody be fed from there. I didn't know about an existing line that they were gonna leave as is. It never came up when we were.
We talked about this all the time. We discussed it several times about not chlorinating out there.
At doing it at the
Just at the
top,
top.
just at the top.
Now, you go read your tapes and your prints and look at your movies or whatever you call it, and you watch it. We talked about it several times. We didn't think we were going to chlorinate out there because the county was saying they didn't give us bad water. Now we've got 3 different occasions over time, and we don't know how many times when we had bad water that it came from them. But our system has been, everything that DNR told us to do has been cleaned up, fixed. We can't find no logical reason for us to have bad water. Except when we do catch it out there, and we take samples out there all the time. We didn't used to take samples out there. Now, and we will continue. But if we catch it on our side this far from the county, it don't go against them. Even though their line's here and ours here, we catch it here. If we get a bad sample, it don't go against the county, it goes against us.
Goes against us.
It's our water, it's not theirs.
That's right.
But it's obvious we're coming. That's just the way it goes. But we're going and down and making it go back out and go out about a 2-inch line, all the way back down to them 4 houses. Everybody understand? Is there any more questions? I don't know how often or how much or how long, but occasionally they're going to send us back. I don't care who they are. You're going to have some bad water. I don't care, us, them. If you got a system that many miles of line, you're going to have some bad water. Now, the pipe they use nowadays has to be under pressure. If your pressure goes way down, they can draw in water. Because that seal is made to be under pressure. You can take these pipes out and take them all the way out of pressure completely, and you can just launch these pipes. They're made to pressurize, to seal. And when you get low, they push that water through there, according to the engineers. They're not glued together, they just snap together with a seal, and then pressurize keeps them there. And that's over. That's the water district out there, ours. We got some, the sewer line, I mean, they're low pressure, they're blue, but the water, they're sealed.
All these 6-inch pipes,
Yeah.
8-inch, 4-inch pipes are not glued.
But there's several reasons why you could get some chloroform positive, but it's not that bad. It's a minute amount. But just as it stays with us and stays with us, you can't flush it out the next day. They're not going to run no test down the stream whenever they've had a break line. They're going to flush it a couple of days and then they're going to run a test. They want to show it's clear now. And it would be. But what they didn't flush out, we got. And whenever you're talking about 1 or 2 parts per million, it don't take long, you got your tire contaminated. Enough that we got to post these notices. I know we've been carrying the blame, even by our own people, son, that we're all at fault. We're not all at fault. We got everything we're supposed to do. To me, this money here, what we have to do is because that we're on the end of the line, as far as I'm concerned.
Is there any way that we could get them to help us pay for this then?
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know.
I plan on having some discussions with people. I don't know. It wouldn't take a lot. You can take just a little bit off of the water, and over a period of 2, 3, 4 years, you can pay a little part of it. I wouldn't even bat an eye if just chlorinating was the thing. We could afford that. Wouldn't change the rate. Chlorinating's not real expensive. It's the building, the line, the equipment getting set up, you don't figure about the chlorinating here. I don't know what chlorinating $55. Now, you remember, either one of you that used to buy it?
When we bought it from, Banner or whatever it was,
Rogers.
yeah, Van and Rogers, yeah. It was about, I think close to $250 a barrel. But that included transportation cost also.
Which was more, probably as much as the chlorine was.
That was 12.5%.
And
Yeah,
that
but
was
see,
so-
now, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna try to go high for it and get it cheaper.
Right. You can.
No, yeah, it's the same. 5%, I thought they're talking, ain't
It's a
they?
lot cheaper, yeah. 5.5% is a lot cheaper. Yeah.
So we'll say that even a lot more. But the chlorine ain't expensive. It's getting this line run out there,
Well,
line run.
not only that, Carl, but when we added, like, those up at the tower, when we put it in there, we had a residual for like over a month.
It's because we didn't have no chlorine.
Because it wasn't being ate up, so I mean,
They were gone.
so.
See, we're gonna have a heavy
It
time
isn't gonna
regulate
take
it for a
much
while.
chlorine. It's not gonna take much chlorine to disinfect.
We're gonna have a heavy time regulating it because if they hit us with some bad water, we hardly gonna even know. It's gonna take a daily test on that, and then it's gonna be hard to do. If we wasn't, there wouldn't be nothing if there wasn't no holding tanks. But we can't operate without holding tanks.
Yep.
We could be just like them, we would be okay. But you gotta have tires. They got tires, but they're way back there. And I don't think, not one between here and Weingarten that I'm aware of.
No. That's a fact.
But everything ain't done yet. There's work going on this every day. And I want to try to get the meeting with the right people and see what I can find out.
Because my feeling is if they're giving us bad water, they should at least have to pay for part of it.
I don't admit it. They're saying they don't.
They never admitted they gave us, maybe with this last time they did because DNR caught it. It was their test that got it too. And a couple times before, back when but it's hard to catch because it don't happen that often. But what we can't do everybody's head is how long we're stuck with it.
Right.
So we got to close. I'm never denying that. I mean, I know it's going to have to happen. But I will deny that there's anything wrong with our system now. I'll stand and argue with any of them that we've done everything. Our tires been fixed, rechecked, tested, all the cross connections. There's nothing wrong, in my opinion, and that comes from the engineer too. There's no reason to see why we would be called, because we ain't had a break, because our system is almost new. And we ain't had low pressure, we ain't had fire. We've had no reason, since we've done all that, for us to have chlorine. Chloroform. But we still getting it.
We implemented routine flushing.
Do we? Yeah, we flush.
Have we implemented it?
Don't you still flush?
I haven't for a while because the fact is the money
I thought we didn't have to flush more than once a
We
year.
don't, we're supposed to only flush, I was told that we only have to flush once a year.
Yeah. So that's what, yeah.
Well,
That'd be
when
ridiculous.
was the last time we flushed?
Probably last summer.
Oh, we were flushed a lot last summer.
Yeah.
Whenever we was having trouble, we was flushing, trying to get the chlorine, we were flushing more to get the chlorine down than we was the chloroform.
That's right. I flushed over
Because we couldn't get the
100,000
chlorine out of our system. We flush, don't come back trying to find something to say, we're doing it.
I'm checking, that's all I'm doing.
Well, I know what you're doing, I know exactly what you're doing. We're doing our part. And we're still gonna have to chlorine. Chlorine. And to get that up, do it is what's gonna hurt us. But I don't know what the county's position is. We hear a while back, well, I didn't have to verify this because I didn't talk to them. Allegedly, they've been told that if they have a problem, they get ahold of the dentist to let him know, if we knew bad water's coming, we can bypass our tire for a day or two, and that way it's going out the system and won't get no holding things and cause none. Did you not have this conversation?
I had a conversation with Ron Martin.
But they don't do it. We just had a water break, and we found out from DNR that they had a water break out here. That's why we got this bad water last time. Mainly.
So why do they not contact us? I mean, what's,
I can't answer that. But
Because they're not required to by any regulation to notify secondary systems that they have a problem.
now that makes no sense to me. They're giving us this bad water.
It don't make no sense to me that we got fluoridate and they give us water, but the kind of system we do.
Well, you would think we're a customer of theirs, that they should have to notify us that they're sending us bad water.
They don't. You would
They
think,
ain't gonna admit it.
courtesy they would.
They're not gonna admit it. They're not gonna admit they had bad water. They don't think they have bad water.
Well, apparently they do.
Because Carter said long ago, over these 4 customers, why don't we just chlorinate ours? Since they don't have bad water, why are we running that line? When you deal with DNR, I did it for years, you're gonna find out it's not like we sat down and talked to you. There's a runaround that is unreal.
DNR is aware that any water district that big has bad water. That don't mean they do it on a daily basis.
Right.
Okay, on occasion.
Everybody in the world knows. But it's just a circumstance that we got this tight. Now, I still would like to think that the county would help us a little bit with this to get set up and get going. And that could be scattered out over time, which hurt nobody and help us. I will try to set up a meeting with the commissioners, their board, and see if I can work something out. I don't know if we're going anywhere. I've met with them. I'm not even aware of how many people on that board really understand water system. I don't know them that well. I know 2 or 3 of them, but I don't know how much they know about water systems. They're working with the city like I have for many years. I understand treatment. I've helped. I've run this on weekends. I know a little bit about it. You can serve on a board and not know anything about what it takes to fix or treat. They may be very knowledgeable. I don't know. But I like to meet with them and see what can be done. We may be spinning their wheels. There's a lot of different avenues we may take down the road. But right now, our main objective is we got to do this no matter if nobody helps us. So we here tonight to try to set this up and figure out what we can do and do it as cheap as we can and do a good job. And that's our sole purpose right now. In the meantime, between now and then, we're going to be trying to see what we can do to help people pay for this. But our objective here tonight is to look at this stuff, decide what we're going to do it, and move on with it. Because irregardless if I can get them to agree to anything or whatever it takes to try to get it, that'll come later.
Because it's gotta be done no matter what.
It's gotta be done no matter what.
That's right.
So right now, we got, this day forward, start moving to get this done and get it done as fast as we can. Now, like Charlie said, if they can let us build a building and start putting it in the tire, the time for getting the city covered would be fast. Then later we run out the forward, well, the county going, if DNR takes a stand and takes it, shouldn't be a problem. But I don't know what stand they're gonna take because they know there is a problem. But, don't get me wrong, there's people out there on their road drinking that same water. Whoever is on this side of the break, wherever, whether it be on J Road, be Altmer, somebody, that day or the next day, that water's coming down. But it goes right on down and, yeah. Because we're pulling at least 20,000 gallons out of that system a day, more than what they burn down. So it's gonna happen. So our main objective now is to try to see, get our heads together. If we think we can do this with our people, we'll try to find the cheapest way to go to save the water users money. We'll do it. But there's no need of trying to get out of it because it's not going to happen. We are going for it. Up to the point the county, if they ever have to.
Okay, Mayor, I'd like to suggest you take a break before the meeting.
You're the boss here. The board runs the.
What do you guys say? Take a break?
I say let's take a break.
Break it is. Done.
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Bowe,
Here.
Alderman Kosich,
Here.
Alderman Franklin, here, Alderman Gerard.
Here.
Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda
Second.
Or are you taking off the?
with the exception of the closed.
No, not with the exception of that. I am going in closed session.
Oh, okay.
For the purpose of?
You'll be announced when I go into closed session. Approve the agenda.
Somebody made a motion.
Make a
guys?
motion to approve the
I
agenda.
have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, you're very sorry. So we need you to approve it, or let me.
Mayor, I'd like-
Start the motion to get it done.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the plans submitted as by Charlie Ray and that you are authorized to sign. So we can get that permit, send it up.
I second it.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then, I need motion to go into closed session for the purpose of possible litigation. Talking on litigation, or possibility of litigation.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
That would be section 610021, wouldn't it?
Seconded.
That's the section you were talking about, right?
Yeah, whatever you say.
610021 section. Motion made, second. Roll call, all in favor? Roll call.
Alderman Kosich,
Aye.
Alderman Gerard,
Nay.
Alderman Franklin,
Aye.
Alderman Bowe.
Aye.
You're welcome not to stay if you don't want to, Frank. If you don't want to go in, you're welcome to leave.
No, I can stay.
Okay, that's fine, you stay too. You okay? All right. Anybody got, well, I know all of our business being conducted, motion to adjourn being ordered.
I made a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks for coming, guys.